Hey there, mini wargamers. All right, the tariffs are coming. When will they hit? A bit quicker than we expected. I thought they were going to hit more in Q3, Q4. Looks like they're probably going to take a bite here within the next 2 to 3 months, so right in Q2. The last time I did one of these economic hobby industry sort of videos was, I think, in December. I think it's worthwhile now to just revise our economic picture. It's always, always hindsight is always clearer. But really fascinating, the news out of Gama for the top miniature lines, plus the tariffs news, I think paints an interesting picture to kind of quickly look at. And then we'll just talk Battletech and Mantic, news thoughts and thinking there to round things out. So yeah, gang, it is sad panda time. 2024 fall winter spending was revised up, which we thought that consumer spending picture in the US was a bit stronger. Unfortunately, unpacking the numbers, it looks like that was made up of about only the top 10% of wage earners in the US. That means it's a very uneven economy still right now. And in fact, it's kind of so grim that here just in January, spending dropped 0.2%. That should be a negative 0.2 right there. That's the first time consumer spending has dropped in 2 years in the US. That is not a good signal. Inflation is remaining stubborn, and our administration just kind of is fomenting instability and unpredictability, which businesses generally do not like. You're seeing right now the first indications of the dreaded R word being bantied about, a recession. Normally what happens is the dreaded R word gets talked about in the news cycle pretty heavily for about a month, comes out of, and I'm not talking blogosphere or doom and gloomers on YouTube or whatever, I'm talking hard news outlets and economic analysis backed by some figures. They'll start talking about it, a month will go by, and then actually economic data will start to point to a true recession. I think it's got to be 2 quarters of negative growth is the technical definition of a recession. I just think if your economy is shrinking, if your GDP is going down, you're in a recession. It looks like Q1, the US GDP might be shrinking. No bueno. So, but out of Gama, we got our top 10 miniature lines and companies data, which was pretty cool. It's great to see Battletech so high. It's also awesome, kind of surprising to see HeroScape, and then yay, Mantic, specifically with just Halo Flashpoint, but yay, Mantic. Then I like Reaper, and I like Song of Ice and Fritos. I don't play Marvel Crisis Pants at all, but yeah, so this makeup was interesting. And then I thought, well, we know where the plastics are made predominantly for these companies. Let's look at that. Who's impacted by an additional 10% broadly across all Chinese goods coming into the US, and it's these. So those are the people that are directly affected. What's likely really to happen? I think it's 10% price increase guaranteed, probably even more. Unfortunately. And why more? Because raising prices is always such a negative thing for the consumer. Is a broad, just think of it as the US consumer had 10% essentially extracted directly from their pocket. That's how you can kind of think about this. And that's why broadly these prices are going to impact like they are. I think I said too, it looks like probably late this month, early Q2 is probably when we can expect things to actually hit retail prices. So what about people with the UK or US flag here? And I know that this is a little non-exact because yes, some print materials are made in different areas and blah, 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 but the core plastic lines of where they're being manufactured. So do any of these have a non-China advantage, or are they immune from what's going on? Obviously, right, this is a bigger macro picture. The answer is no. So GW is going to raise prices to its own whim. Steamforged way down there at number 10 are going to just face a climate where the consumer has less money. Are they going to have to raise prices? No, but it is going to impact them, right? I think, again, we're just 3D printing, being able to directly make what you want in your garage, in your house, if you could deal with the toxic resin and the fiddliness that is the 3D printing. Quote unquote, a hobby unto itself. that trend just seems to be really locking in here hard. And I'm interested to see how the rest of the year plays out with 3D printing. I've gotten heavily into All Quiet on the Martian Front, which is US domestic 3D printed. So, you know, got my eyes. I think everybody probably, if you're broadly in the minis hobby, you've probably got something out there that is 3D printed only, right? All right, let's talk Catalyst. So for as much guff as I give them about their marketing comms, they at least came out a couple days ago to try and get ahead of this, and they produced a more comprehensive statement, which you can find here. But basically it says, yo, we don't want to do this, but we're going to have to raise prices, and we're looking at it. It's going to happen in the next 60 days, right? So they're preparing customers for this. They're saying it's on new stuff and reprints, but they know that it's broadly going to be impacting basically their entire product line. And this is not right just for minis. Obviously, it's for the board game industry and hobby industry at large, right? But Catalyst is doing what it can to get out in front of it. I immediately thought, man, what a heartbreaker for Aces, because that's pointed squarely at them for the timelines that they're going to release in. So, you know, right now it pre-ordered for $60 to $80. Does that really hold? I don't think so. I think soon you're looking at $70 to $90, which is that's a whopping amount for a box game, right? Now here people are saying, well, 10% is actually 66. Yeah, sure, whatever. Like, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something in this range, and I think, you know, that's enough for me to really consider whether I'm getting 1 or 2 boxes of Aces. I might just have to hold out for the Ghost Bear one. We'll see. We'll see. I thought it also might be fun or torturous to look at what we've been paying price per mini for Battletech. So in 2021, it was about $4 a mech. In fact, I bought that star right there for I think a little bit less than $4 a mech. In 2021. Right now, it's $6 a mech. What is it going to be soon? I think we're really going to look at 7 to 8. Again, I know that's not exactly 10%, but that's probably what it's indicating. What is Warhammer 40K sitting at right now? About $10 per mini. Yeah, sure, find me your Cadia or super rare example or whatever, but roughly in that range, right? That becomes pretty interesting. No longer is Battletech quite the budget darling that it once was. Yeah, but I'm sure again GW will raise its prices to its own tempo. And just kind of thinking, you know, my wish list. This is the stuff that I want. What's impacted? So the Creative Force packs, will they be impacted? Probably. Maybe. I mean, maybe the first one won't be, and the second one will be. There's like the Recon Lance or Rangers or whatever. I can't remember what that one's called, but the Command Lance probably is affected. Again, Aces, I'm probably throttling back to maybe just getting 1 box. I want the rules. I want the campaign. I want a fun campaign with the antagonists all in the box to paint up in that way. And it's just right, a super fun way to engage with Battletech with my family. I'm also anxious for whenever that Nova Cat novel comes out. That probably won't be impacted unless it's printed in China. So what are my feels like here? You know, I just, my brain was going everywhere. I thought about the eBay singles market. Boy, people are going to be able to make probably a killing there, because with these force packs becoming $35 a box, $30 a box, whatever they're going to be, you know, buying that, just that single for $10, $12, people are going to do that for the mechs that they want. I also thought, we went on over and looked at Ironwind Metals. Yeah, it's still a bit expensive, but for the variants that you really, really want, man, they sure are beautiful, and they are in the new style. That's great. I also think we're going to see a lot more printer go burr and general piracy of Battletech at these prices. It's probably just going to happen. Additionally, combined with the fact that Battletech is now the #2 product line, that's probably a big gap between G-Dub and Catalyst here. But I think just the popularity factor alone, you're gonna see a lot more of that out there. And what about the other news here for Battletech? Honestly, guys, there really hasn't been a lot. You probably saw there was a funny romance novel. We've had the Davian Force packs come out. It's just kind of doing what we knew it was going to do. There's nothing bigger, momentous happening outside of that Aces news from PAX that I covered a while ago. Right on. Let's switch over to Mantic. And this is the one that I've been thinking about a lot, Epic Warpath. So Epic Warpath, the Kickstarter has to fulfill, and some of that is plastic and some of that is printed. And printed where, and is it resin cast in-house? I don't exactly know. But the plastic sprues of infantry and potentially the core tanks, those are probably coming from China, and this is sitting squarely in the delivery window. I'm kind of wondering if Mantic doesn't reach their hand out to US backers and say, yeah, I'm really sorry, you guys, but we have to do it. Otherwise, we don't pay our people. And as a backer, I understand it and would be willing to do that. A, love Mantic. B, love where this game might go. I can hear the Legions Imperialis players laughing in the background. Like, dude, our game is almost dead now. We've played the heck out of Legions Imperialis, and you still haven't got yours. And you're going to be hit by tariffs. Cool story. What about Halo? Yeah, all the upgradey, expansiony stuff with the Covenant, the Brutes, all that stuff is going to be squarely impacted. What a drag on Mantic. Yeah, so I just thought, put together that picture, kind of look at things. Overall, yes, it's a couple dollars, but it's a couple dollars when it continues to be expensive and when it looks like, at least especially the U.S. consumer, continues to be squeezed. It's got me really thinking more, again, about 3D printing. I don't know, I might kind of gather my thoughts and think about if this is the year I go grab an Elegoo Saturn or something like it, especially with All Quiet on the Martian Front percolating in the background as I paint up models that I just got from there and enjoying that. Stay well, my friends. I hope you all are having a good one, and I will catch you later.